Hey guys, it's Serene, and today I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of talking about a Greek goddess, we're going to be talking about a Norse goddess. Now, if you don't know what Norse is, it's like what the Vikings believe, basically. And, if you thought Greek mythology was crazy, then you are in for a treat. Because let me tell you, they had the Norse mythologies are so weird. They are weird, okay? And you're in for a wild ride. So, yeah, let's just get this video started. So, the goddess we're going to be talking about today, her name is Freya. And yeah, you may have seen it spelled the way I spelled it in the title of this video, but it's actually spelled like 15 million other ways, which I will now be displaying on the screen just to show you how many it is. Because it's a lot, okay? It's a lot. But I choose this spelling because it's the easiest. And I like to keep things easy. I'm sorry. I'm lazy, okay? I'm sorry. But yeah. And to give you a feel for who Freya is, I just want to tell you my favorite fact for her. And that is that, she loves cats. They're actually her, like, sacred animal or whatever. And she's like, like how all crazy cat ladies are. In that she loves cats so much, she has a chariot. A chariot drawn by two cats that she flies with. Yeah. Because that's what all cat lovers do, obviously. I've never seen a cat lover without their chariot. Yeah, not to mention she can already fly because she has a cloak of, like, falcon feathers that lets her cry. And I'm so sorry if you can hear that really weird stuff in the background. I'm recording this in my car. That's what I usually do. I sit in the 100-degree heat in my car to record videos. And right now there's someone beside me in the parking lot blasting their music because they don't think anyone else is here, but I am, and I'm judging them. And so will you be too if you can hear it. But it's really annoying, and I'm sorry. I came here for it to be quiet, and it's kind of backfiring on me, but it be like that sometimes. So let's just continue, I guess. So a quick thing about Norse mythology is that a lot of it was lost whenever the Christians defeated the Vikings or whatever, or they considered their religion paganism, so they kind of destroyed a lot of texts that were kept on the Norse religion, which is really unfortunate because we only have 2 poems left that we used to see their mythology and what they believed. And other than that, like, we don't know. There's so many myths and stuff that was lost. It's kind of sad. So I don't know, there's nothing about how Freya was born or anything. She does have a twin, a boy, his name is Frey. Yeah, her parents were real creative. Anyway, she was the goddess of love, beauty, and Valkyries. Yes. Her and Odin actually, they kind of shared, they both had Valkyries, and then they would kind of split the souls who, like, the Valkyries picked from battle. If you don't know what a Valkyrie is, it's this lady that would, if you died in battle, which was considered the honorable way of death to the Vikings, then it was said that a Valkyrie would choose your soul, and you would go to sit with either Odin or Freya. Freya got the first pick, and then Odin got the rest. And you would basically be merry and happy and be able to fight and practice and eat until it was time for the world to end, and then you're screwed. But until then, it's fun. So yay! Anyway, so she was that, and then, yeah, her home had a bunch of dead people chilling around it. I don't know any other way to have a home because that's just so much fun. So the main myth that we have from Freya, because there are a few that involve her, but they're not, like, her myths. So the main one that we have is actually about her necklace that she wears. It's called, like, Brisingamen. I have no idea how to pronounce it, okay? So I'm sorry. I am. But it's this amber necklace. And she, she's the goddess of love. She's kind of like Aphrodite. And the fact that she's very superficial. She likes shiny things. She likes pretty things. She likes jewelry and necklaces. So these dwarves made Brisingamen. And she saw it one day. And she became enchanted by it almost. Like, she couldn't stop thinking of it. It was beautiful. So she asked them for it. She's like, can I please have this? It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. They're like, you know what? We'll give it to you for a price. And so she's like, well, what's the price? And they told her that she had to cheat on her husband with them. And she was like enchanted by this thing. So she agreed to it. She cheated. She figured he would never find out. She figured she would get the cool shiny necklace, and it would be a win-win. Well, unfortunately, our favorite god, if you like Marvel movies, Loki, our boy Loki, finds out, obviously, because he's just sneaking around and he saw it. And so he immediately, of course, was like, oh, I'm going to tell Odin and be a little snitch. Well, remember that snitches get stitches, and later, legitimately, Loki gets his mouth stitched up in a bed, but that's a story for another time. But anyway, so he tells Odin, and Odin decides to tell her husband, Odur. Like, not odor as in, like, smelly, but O-D-R. Odor. I don't know. It's really weird. Now, you might be telling me, hey, Odur, Odin, those are pretty similar. And I tell you that, yes, you are right. The names are very similar. And so are Freya and Odin's wife, Frigg. What's thought, actually, in history is that it was maybe two different tribes of, like, Vikings or whatever kind of split off and the names got changed, and that they might just be about the same person. But we don't know for sure. It's not 100% certain. So, for now, we just know them as two different people. Oh my gosh, I swear, these boys are playing freaking trap music and shouting at each other. Like, I'm trying to record a video here, bruh. Ugh. High schoolers, am I right? Anyway, just kidding. So Odin brings Freya in, basically gets her to admit that she cheated on her husband, Odur. And Odur is so upset, he just walks away. He just leaves. And he's never seen again. And that makes Freya very sad, because unlike Aphrodite and Hephaestus, Freya legitimately loved her husband. She adored him. Now, we don't know anything about Odur other than this myth. We don't know what he looks like, if he was pretty or not, but it was said that they did love each other, and she immediately regretted cheating on him when he walked out. And she spent a lot of time after that. I'm sorry, I'm getting really distracted by this freaking trap music. Thank you. Anyway, so he walks out and she never sees him again, and she immediately after that, she kind of spends a lot of time in the mortal realm, because that's where people have rumored to see him. She spends a lot of time just looking for him. And after that point, because Brisingamen, the necklace that she had, it was enchanted, it made her cry like golden tears or whatever. And so she cried these golden tears because she was so upset that her husband had left and that she had been the reason he left, and she just wanted to find him. So they just turned the music up. I'm gonna kill myself. Anyway, so she cried, and yeah, these golden tears, just looking for her husband, traveling in the mortal realm, and she never found him. Like, even in Ragnarok, I think it was stated that maybe he would come back, but we aren't for sure on that, just because so many myths have been lost. So you can thank those crazy Christians, and we'll never really know. But yeah, so that's kind of the main myth, but I do have some more details I want to share with you about this crazy chick. Okay, so I actually ended up moving my car because they just turned up the music louder. I didn't ask them to stop or anything, so it's not like they were doing it out of spite. I think they were just having fun, but it was really starting to get on my nerves. So I moved, and now it's raining. So that's always fun, but at least the rain is kind of an enjoyable, relaxing sound as I tell you about this wacky chick, right? So the next thing I wanted to talk about is she not only had a chariot of cats that carried her, which honestly I think is how she became a goddess, because, it said that we can't herd a cats, but she can, and she can get them to pull her chariot, and I think that's just how you achieve godhood, honestly. Yeah, so she not only had those, but she also had a pig, a hog, a swine, if you will, that she would ride into battle. And yeah, Loki, actually, our boy, our god, accused her of he said she was being immoral because it was her secret human boyfriend, Otar, which it's raining harder, and honestly, I'm in love. But I'm sorry for how this video is going to sound. It's just been one thing after another, honestly. And I can't record any other time because I'm busy with band all day, so yay. Anyway, so he accused her of being immoral because she had this hog that was allegedly her mortal secret boyfriend that she disguised. And he basically said, "You're riding your lover into battle. That's gross." I mean, and I think that would be pretty weird too. Like, imagine you're about to fight someone and they just charge at you and you see them like doing a piggyback on their boyfriend. I would be a little weirded out too, so I kind of get it, but like, at the same time, I think it's hilarious. I think it's amazing. And yeah. Hey, so you remember that falcon cloak we talked about earlier? Yeah, well, back on that, it's involved in this fun little story where Loki steals it and loses it, and it gets found by a giant. And long story short, to get it back, Thor had to dress up as a woman and get married. But we don't have time to unpack all that, so sorry, maybe next time. But that's legit one of my favorite stories ever. It's so good. I'll have to tell it some other time because, oh. So one last thing I kind of wanted to say about Freya and about Norse mythology and all is that, like, so basically here's some context for this. There were two different types of gods, the Aesir and the Vanir. There's like 9 different worlds or kingdoms or whatever. And so obviously the Aesir are from Asgard. They're like Odin, Loki, Thor, Frigg. Those gods. The Vanir are from Vanaheim. And obviously because they're from 2 different kingdoms, they were in this huge war. It was terrible. Both sides had massive casualties. So eventually they were like, you know what, let's just call it a truce and get on with our lives. And they agreed to that. And as a kind of way to show that they were having a truce and that neither side would attack the other, is that Freya and Frey, the 2 twins, those, I almost said those crazy triplets, but they weren't triplets, they were twins, as I've said like 15 times. Anyway, they were sent over to live with the Aesir gods, and they were kind of made honorary Aesir. And so that the Vanir gods wouldn't attack again, and then the Aesir gods would feel obligated to stay with them, or whatever. And honestly, they were accepted. They never felt like they weren't. They felt like they fit in pretty cool. Yeah, like I said earlier, my favorite Norse mythology story ever, when Freya had her cloak stolen by Loki, Thor helped her. And he dressed up and got married. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. But like I said, I'll talk about that in another video because I like leaving you all in suspense. So about the artwork really quick, because I think that this one is the most important of all. I actually had designed Freya maybe a year ago. Almost a year ago, like a little over actually, and it was when I was just getting into digital art, so I was too scared to try realism, which is actually, if you want to get better at being stylized, you should always try and draw realistically first and learn the rules. It's just easier that way, and I had to learn that the hard way, unfortunately. But yeah, so I had just started, and I decided to draw Freya because I love Norse mythology. Honestly, it's my favorite mythology. Like, Greek is fun, and Egyptian is the one I learned first. But Norse is just so weird. Like, I can't get over it. Like, physically cannot. So, anyway, I was into that, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw Freya. And I did, and, well, you'll see the reveal in a second. But it's a little rough. I tried to draw her in a more anime style. I don't watch anime. I've never watched anime. It's like rip-off, like, great value anime. It's not good. And then, also, because I decided to make it an anime, or I decided to draw her, I wanted to make a comic. Yep. and it was going to be about her after Ragnarok. And I actually do want to make a video talking about Ragnarok because I think it's really cool, like all the prophecies for how the world is supposed to end or whatever, because it's different from other mythologies, and you'll see that if I ever do make a video about it, but it'll be a long one, so I don't know, maybe sometime in the future. But yeah, so I made this comic, and well, I just want to show you some of my favorite scenes in it, and they look like this. Yikes. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, then awesome. I really hope you did. I really enjoy making these. If you have any goddess or myth or anything you want me to talk about, then go ahead and tell me in the comments, and I'll definitely do it. I have a lot of fun making these. Yeah. So subscribe if you liked it. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these in the future. And yeah. See ya.